All right. Welcome in 2025 Week 13 recap, playoff preview. Haven't done a 2025 recap yet, but we're here. Got Martucci and Chris with me. How we doing, boys?
Fantastic.
I'm stressed.
It's crunch time right now. It is crunch time. That's why we wanted to get on here and do a recap. Real quick before we start, I want to give Martucci the floor if there's anything you want to say to the entire league sitting in first place after 13 weeks after the consensus at the draft was that you had the worst draft of all time.
Nothing to say yet. I will make remarks towards the end of the season. I'm not in first right now, but I feel like we'll get into it. But this week depends on who's going to finish first and my
Right.
matchup.
Most
But
points on it.
yeah, I will say I got the most shit from someone who's way at the bottom, who I can't hear down there. Noah, you down there, bud? How you doing? That feels great because Noah was giving me so much crap, and yeah,
Oh,
just
fantastic. We'll talk about scenarios for the bye, scenarios for last place punishment, which seems pretty secure, and the chaos that is the 6 and 7 seeds. Everybody from sixth place all the way down to really 10th place is right in the mix. So, real quick, weekly prize this year. Been paying them out as we go, but just so everyone has an idea, there is exactly one team that has 3 weekly prizes that leads the league. Any guesses on who it is, real quick?
Is he on the call?
No,
yeah, it was not me.
Does he not drink alcohol?
definitely drinks alcohol.
Oh,
Oh, definitely drinks. Trying to see. Is it Zach?
Ryan Hilsey.
Zach
Yeah.
was my guess was saying not drinking alcohol.
Ryan Hilsey has 3. He's in sixth place right now. We'll talk about his scenarios. He is he third in the league with in points for sitting at 12 and 14. Unbelievable that he
So
has
he's
that
boomer
many
bust though.
points.
It sounds like
Yes.
during the week he either puts up a shit ton of points or just folds.
Right. Right.
Well,
So
I mean, he
he's
also
got
says
3.
that he gets the most points against by a decent chunk.
Yeah, Zach's pretty close to him, but he does have the most
Yeah.
by a pretty wide margin.
I mean,
After Zach falls out.
He's got Jonathan Taylor and Jameer Gibbs
Yeah,
and
it's just not
Drake.
even
Drake
mind.
May.
Now he hasn't even played Drake May
He's
most
never played
weeks.
Drake
He's
May.
been playing Bone Hicks over him like all year,
What
and
a
it doesn't
Yeah.
idiot.
matter. And the one week that he didn't check his stupid lineup, he didn't start a kicker, and then he didn't play Jonathan Taylor because he was on bye the week before and he didn't check his lineup. Jonathan Taylor gets 6 points. Unbelievable.
He could have
But
had four. So you said he had three. He could have had four then because
he would have had 4 if he just started his kicker.
how much did he lose? How much money did he lose right there?
30
No
bucks.
kicker.
Each one's
30,
30
30
bucks.
bucks.
30
Wow.
bucks for not starting your lineup, setting your lineup. But he still scored 186 not setting his lineup. So and then there's 4 people that all have 2 weekly prizes. That's Martucci, Kyle, Sam, and Zach all have 2. 2 people with 1. That's myself and Drew. And then 0 weekly prizes. There's 5 people. One of them's on the call. And I already said me and Martucci. Um, Jake T is in first place right now, going into the last week of the regular season and has 0 weekly prizes. I don't know how that's possible, but the 5 people that have 0 weekly prizes is Jake in first, and then it's 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Chris, Sean, Andre, Noah, all with 0. So
Jake is just the Drake May, not throwing for 300 yards,
right, just 280 every week.
Yeah.
So real quick on last week, let's start with my low scoring matchup that
All right.
came
I'll
down to
bring it up.
Monday night. It was Trevion Henderson. Thanks for you to pull up Sleeper, which I always forget Sleeper even has a actual website you can go on the computer. But anyway, 107.36 to 106.3. I beat Kyle by 1.06. It was Trevion Henderson versus Stephon Diggs yesterday. I was down by 5 going into the game. Henderson came up big. Didn't get a lot of touches. We're back to stupid Ramondre taking like half the carries. They were split pretty evenly. It's so stupid. but Trevion did enough. He had a big 26-yard run that put me ahead, and then never looked back. Diggs only had 3 catches for 26 yards. So crazy matchup that came all the way to the very end yesterday. Obviously, neither of us got the median with those scores, but that result of our matchup, that is going to cause a lot of the extra chaos in spots 6 and 7 for the playoffs. Because if Kyle beats me and he's 13-13, he still wouldn't have clinched, but he would have been pretty much in control and really it would have been a big fight for the last spot. But now he's 12-14 with a lot of other teams. And I know, Chris, you were rooting for that one because that gives you a better chance.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and to do that after losing Amon Ra, I eat my Thanksgiving dinner. We eat pretty early. I was done right around when the game started. I sit down. Now it's time to watch my best player kick off the week, Amon Ra St. Brown, and he gets rolled up on the second play of the game. He's with 0.
Do you know if he's playing this week?
He's probably not. They're playing Thursday night, so I'm thinking he's probably out this week. But I have clinched the playoffs. I still have a chance, and we'll talk about the bye scenarios. I still have a chance at the bye, so obviously I want that. But it's unlikely for me to get the bye, and I've clinched the playoffs. I'd rather them sit him out and make sure he's good for me in weeks 15 through 17. I also don't have Trevion this week. I don't have Kittle this week. So I'm getting crushed in week 14. So I'm glad that I've already clinched. Crazy game. And luckily for Chris and some of the other 12 and 14 teams, that bumped Kyle down to 12 and 14 as well. And Chris, you won pretty comfortably. You took down Hilshi. He's put up 148 this week. Any 148 with 6 from the worst quarterback in the entire league, Lamar Jackson. My question is, why did you wait until week 13 to start trying?
I kept listening to the motor oil and it was a slippery slope. I guess my team is dependent on Terry McLaurin and
AJ
Brown. Who would have thought?
Yeah, McLaurin came back 7 for 96 and a touchdown.
If your team gets into the playoffs and AJ Brown keeps it up, could be kind of scary, but that's a big if. So.
Well, he has one of the emerging running backs in the league, Devin Singletary, on his bench. So we'll see if he cracks the starting lineup. However, he does not have a quarterback.
Unfortunately, he is on bye this week.
That's right.
Next week, technically. So
you might need to sit Young Huku or just get rid of that guy.
The fact that whiffed kick didn't count against Chris is hilarious because he didn't even touch the ball, so it didn't count as a miss.
Could be 0, but no, we got that 1 point.
Oh,
it was huge. Huge. I was telling Devin this. The Miami defense didn't get 2 points for the 2 points that they scored on that pick 2.
Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not about to go in the week before the playoffs and start messing with our scoring settings, but we're going to look at that in the offseason. Why wouldn't a defense get points for scoring 2 points on a 2-point conversion?
Don't know.
Outrageous. So I tell them, I was like, if I lose the median, if I lose the Ilshi, by less than 2 points, I am raging.
Well, it still could come down to points. So you keep an eye on the playoffs, and if you lose by less than 2, you should probably outrage.
All right, sounds good.
But a great week for you. You absolutely needed to go 2-0 this week, and you did it.
Yeah.
And then Martucci, you lost to Drew, who was the highest scorer of the week. I mean, you have known that you clinched a playoff spot even before this week. But how
I didn't have a good week. Jackson Smith-Njigba had his worst game this year. I'm pretty sure. His only bad game, which is like, get that out of the way. That's fine. And Travis Etienne, who I recently traded for, only put up 5 points. You know, that monster trade I had with Jake, the option was between Junkins or Etienne. And he actually wanted to more so get rid of Junkins than Etienne. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should have actually just taken Junkins instead. But, needed help at running back. I think that's why I did the trade. Like, more reliable of a person, and he didn't really show up. So hopefully we got guys actually showing up next week. So
yeah, JSN's been unbelievable. It literally he was wide receiver 25 in week 4. And like before his bad performance this week, that was his worst performance. His second worst performance was week 2 when he was wide receiver 13. He's been in the top 13 every week but 2. He has been the best receiver in the league, and right next to Puka Nacua. Who has him?
Actually, fun fact: George Pickens is the wide receiver number 2 on the season. So I have the wide receiver number 1 and the wide receiver number 2.
Wow, and you did for a while too, while Puka held that spot.
Yes,
so you just always making sure you have the top 2.
If you're going inside my head on why I did it, it's Devontae Adams has taken way too many red zone touches. Like, he's unstoppable in the red zone. It's actually unbelievable. And so he's just taking all the red zone touches from Puka, where I think Pickens is, how many touchdowns does Pickens have on the year? I think he's leading the league in touchdown receptions, maybe. Maybe not, but he's up there. So that's kind of was the mindset of the trade, and to get a running back with it.
Yep. It was a crazy last trade of the year. And with that, go into kind of the playoff scenarios here. So for going for the bye, we got up at the top of the league. The schedule, as you said, the schedule makers were in their bag because the top 2 teams are playing each other in week 14. You're going up against Jake. It's the 1 and the 2. Jake 17-9. After this week, you're 16-10. That dropped you. It flip-flopped you guys. Obviously, you've clinched a playoff spot. So 5 teams have officially clinched playoff spots. Shout out to feature Sleeper added on actually adding a little check in there. I like that.
The winner of that game will be the 1 seed because the winner of that game will be the 1 seed, right?
Most likely.
I think it's guaranteed, right? Because I have more points for than Jake, and it'd be impossible for him to get more points for than me without beating me. So
for me, my scenario for the bye is, and reminder, there's only 1 bye. We got 7 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I would need to go 2-0. I need you to go 0-2. So I need Jake to beat you. But I would need Jake to go 1-1. So you go 0-2. Jake goes 1-1. I go 2-0. And then when that's the case, me and Jake will be tied in record. I would need to outscore him by 61.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The winner of this game decides.
It's not completely impossible because in that scenario, Jake didn't get the median. So say he scores 100 and I score 165. It's possible, but if Sleeper had the projection line, I'm probably at 5%.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Puka and Chase might score 100 themselves. So,
yeah. And then technically, I was looking at this. Technically, Zach and Drew aren't out of it for the bye either. But that's even less likely than me. They would need to go 2-0. They would need to go 2-0. Have Jake go 0-2 and you go 1-1. Zach is only 11 points behind you. So Zach's where that's not completely impossible because he's closer in points. So if you go 1-1, Jake goes 0-2 and Zach goes 2-0 and he scores 11 more points than you, which in that scenario he probably does, Zach could move all the way up and get the 1 seed. So that is possible. Technically it's possible for Drew, except he'd have to outscore you by 79. So it's really probably not.
How does Chris get the 1 seed?
How does Chris get the 1 seed?
Believe.
He goes back in time and doesn't take Lamar Jackson.
He doesn't take Justin Jefferson. He doesn't take A.J. Brown. He doesn't take Lamar Jackson. He doesn't take Terry McLaurin. And he doesn't take Isaiah Pacheco.
And talk about the schedule makers being in their bag. Zach and Drew are playing each other this week.
Yeah.
So that's another huge matchup. And I'm playing against Sean, who's also clinging on by a thread to a playoff spot. Let's talk about the other exciting thing, which is last place, because 2 of the people that I didn't go back and check. I don't think either Andre or Noah have ever missed the playoffs before. I think both of them have made the playoffs every year. I think they probably, if we went back and looked at historical records, I would bet a lot that they are the top 2 in winning percentage in our entire league's history. And they are in 11th and 12th right now. just a weird year. And I don't think I think it's a fluke. I don't see that continuing to happen in the years going forward. But that just so weird that those are the two guys at the bottom of the league. Noah is actually technically the only one that's been officially eliminated, except Andre's so far behind in points that he is actually eliminated too. He's 240 points behind Kyle. So he's not getting in either. But the only way that Noah doesn't come in last is if he goes 2-0 and Andre goes 0-2 and he maintains his points lead. So it's still possible.
What's the punishment this year?
It's the same thing, right?
It's Buffalo Wild Wings, like a little lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings, basically.
Like a little lunch.
That's all it was, right, Chris?
Yeah, just a light lunch. Just a light lunch. Wild card weekend. It's nothing to me.
Yeah, exactly. So Noah's in control to be able to do that. So crazy.
But I need Noah to beat Hilshi. So Noah, please, Noah, get no Buffalo Wild Wings, please.
Yep. And then we have the chaos that is the last two playoff spots. There is almost too many scenarios to even go through all of them, but we have 4 teams all at 12 and 14. And Sean's at 11 and 15, and he's still technically not out of it either. So between those 5 teams, there's 2 spots open. We talked about Hilshi. He's not that he's third most points in the entire league. So he really is in control here. And Kyle is pretty well ahead of the guys behind him in points as well. So for both of them, if they go 2-0, they're like if those two just go 2-0, that's just it. But if they're losing, or either one or both of them puts up a bad week, that's where things can get crazy and Chris starts to get excited.
Kyle and Sam's matchup is the matchup of the week for down there. The other one being the actual matchup of the week, Drew and Zach.
Right, or Martucci and Jake.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Martucci and Jake. Sorry. I forgot.
But for playoff implications, it's got to be Kyle versus Sam. That's the cutoff. Like, Kyle's the last team and Sam's the first team out. They're playing each other. Kyle has a 52-point advantage over Sam right now. So obviously, there's a million scenarios where everybody has the same record. Anybody that's 12 and 14 could go 2-0 and have somebody else go 0-2. Like, you could jump up to be the 6th seed if you go 2-0 and nobody else does.
Yep.
That's kind of the scenario for everybody. So it really is going to come down to the records. But as far as points go, even if Hilsch goes 1-1, unless like 3 other teams, the only way he misses is going like 0-2, and then like 3 other teams all go 2-0. So Hilsch is in a pretty good spot. And Hilsch is playing against Noah. So
I don't think. Well, it's I don't think both couldn't go to. I guess he is pretty much locked in. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if he goes 0-2, anything can happen, because if he goes 0-2, all it takes is a couple other teams to get 1 win and he's out. But he's playing Noah, who's in last place. So even if he has a down week and he gets a win with not that many points, he's still probably okay.
What's the matchup looking like?
And also the question in this matchup is, will Noah look at his team? The other question is, does Noah still have Sleeper on his phone?
We got Gibbs versus Montgomery. We got, Herbert to Quentin Johnson, 2 touchdowns. Someone put that bet in.
Oh, that could happen. That absolutely could happen.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas, man, it's been just that's shocking to me how big of a disappointment he's been. A big reason Noah's in last.
Alec Pierce versus Josh Downs. There we go.
It's just all teammates. That's awesome. Somebody tell Noah to pick up Isaiah Likely so he can go up against Mark Andrews.
I don't think he's starting Isaiah Likely over Jake Ferguson.
He could play him in his flex. Jameer DK got negative points last week.
And he won. I think didn't Noah win last week?
Noah won. He put up 119 last week.
Yeah, it's better than he had the big dog Hilsch. He's like, Hilsch can win. He's putting up 0. I'll show him how to do it.
What's that little head is that Kyler down there, or is that Jacoby? Oh, it's Jacoby. Okay, I was gonna say, if he still had Kyler on his team, I don't know. But
that
could definitely play spoiler. Also, another question: Will Hilsey look at his lineup and realize Wandale Robinson's on bye? Because that's not a guarantee.
He's already on the bench. It's all
okay,
good.
okay. He's already got him down there. Good for you, Hill.
Yeah, him and Tracy and Drake May are all down there already. Might be the lineup minus. Will he pick up a defense? I guess is the question.
That's a good question.
Do you remember last year we did a guess the championship game? I don't know if any of us had it right. Do you remember what our guesses was?
I definitely had it right. I'm just kidding.
No, you
Devin
were in
might
it,
have
but
picked
I don't know
himself.
if you guessed it.
Yeah,
I think you guessed me, Devin.
That was dumb.
Yeah, real dumb. I think Jake gets in.
I think I've been saying that for all year. I agree. Jake's team is just top to bottom. Solid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go with the guy that has the most points in the league. I don't see any way that Martucci doesn't take it. I mean, he's dominated. He's dominated all year. And he's just it would have worked out perfectly by the way it went at the draft if he can just come in holding the trophy next year saying like, look at how bad you guys thought my team was and now here's the trophy. So that's my pick for sure.
That would be the storybook ending for sure. If I'm not gonna, piggyback off Martucci and also pick Jake as much as I would like to, I guess I'll pick a dark horse and go Drew.
Ooh, okay. I like it. Now Drew has Drake London, right? So that could be big, depending on how.
Oh, is he like out?
Well, he's been out, but I think he's questionable. I got him in a couple other leagues. I think he has a chance to play this week, but
has a chance to play. You stole it.
There you go. Something tells me Drake London has a chance to play in week 14. Now Drew's already clinched a playoff spot, so probably for him you're all right if you just even if he rests, but like he should be back for the playoffs for Drew. And I don't know. We'll see if they are still going, if they still have to go with Kirk Cousins at that point, because that obviously hurts London too. But how about, Jameson Williams? Talk about my Amon-Ra. Like, if Amon-Ra was out a couple weeks, that basically, like, I don't see myself winning a playoff game against a really good team if I don't have Amon-Ra and that accelerate. Like, honestly, me and Drew could play each other. We could play each other with it coming down to will Amon-Ra play? Because if Amon-Ra doesn't play, Jameson Williams is like a top 5 wide receiver.
What's killing you too, Devin, is Emeka Egbuka, who is a fantastic receiver. Yes. Outlook next year and beyond, I think is phenomenal. Started the year so hot, and he's just been inconsistent since then. For whatever reason, I think he's probably dealing with something.
Yeah. Ever since his injury. He hasn't even really been inconsistent. He's just stunk for a while.
4, 9, 6.
Had a big game against the Pats.
I guess he had the big game against the Pats.
He had that big game. But other than that, that's the only good game he's had since week 6. Like, it felt early on like I had a top 5 steal.
And you had Baker, who was playing well, who is now not playing well. And so you wonder who do you start at quarterback? So that's the tough thing. I don't know.
I've done a terrible job picking my starting quarterback. Like this week, I sat Jordan Love. He was like the QB2. And I have every week gone back and forth between the two of them and almost always picked the wrong one. Then again, I won the championship last year with Kyler Murray, and he was terrible. So, maybe it doesn't matter. But I'm going to need Amon-Ra. That's all I know. Amon-Ra and Nico have been awesome. Like, as my top 2 picks, ever since Kittle's been back, and especially since Brock Purdy's been back, he's been one of the most consistent tight ends. If I walk into Gillette Stadium with a lead pipe for Ramondre Stevenson, then I really like my chances. Because Trevion was unbelievable. That's what accelerated me to the top of the standings was the weeks that I had Trevion without Ramondre. Now he's just, 11, 12 points because he's not getting that many touches. So. We'll see. I think, and just because Sean would be super upset if I didn't give the whole scenario that he already did for me, because he had already looked at his scenario while staring at his fantasy lineup all week. Sean needs to go 2-0. He needs the loser of Sam and Kyle to go 0-2. He needs Hilsch to go 0-2. He needs Chris to go 1-1 or worse. And then he has a 29-point advantage over you if you do go 1-1 or worse record-wise. So That wasn't an or. That was he needs every single one of those things to happen to make the playoffs.
Wait, how would the Sam and Kyle thing work? What did you say?
The loser of so he can't. He's not getting ahead of both of them, right?
Right.
He's only getting ahead of one of them. Sean can't make it to the 6th seed. He could get the 7th seed.
Right. Of course.
So
I
whoever,
keep forgetting there's 2 spots open.
Yeah, two spots. So
Right.
whoever wins that matchup, Sean automatically has no chance to get ahead of. Whoever loses, if they go 1-1, Sean's eliminated. Like if both of those teams hit the median, he's
gotcha.
So he needs the loser. Whoever it doesn't matter.
That would be insane. That would. I mean, that's not. Listen, it's not unlikely.
I mean, it's possible, but he's
just
it's
really the entire
unlikely.
league. Or sorry, the entire league, not the entire league. Was it? How many teams are there? 5 teams in the realistic are just looking at Noah and just saying, do your job and beat Hilsey. And I think Noah. I think Hilsey. He's might be in his head against Noah.
You think the pressure will get to him?
I think the pressure will get to him, and you just won't give the best motivational speech to
the pressure
guys.
got to him last year in the championship, which people forget that I beat Hilsey in the championship last year, 170 to 157. So I know it got to him then. So
you know the score exactly. It's kind of concerning.
Posted in my office. Of course, I know the score. It's probably still posted in Hilsey's office too. I posted them all over his. So those are your playoff scenarios. We kind of gave predictions and stuff, and how you guys feel going into the playoffs with your own team. Well, maybe going into the playoffs with your own teams.
I think my running backs have to perform, or I'm done. I actually think my team last year was better than this year. Like I felt better last year going into the playoffs, and but who knows? That probably means nothing. But it's been a fun league this year. I've had fun, and I really want that first round bye because that's huge in this league with 7 teams, right? So really, really just want that. Don't want to have an upset or something happen or even have to play that first game that week. So, because you never know.
Yep. Chris,
do you think
you got a shot?
I do feel like I have a shot. I think I didn't love the teams that my specific players are matched up against. Ashton Genty's got to go up against the Broncos, etc. But I do think that if I can squeeze in there, I think I could be dangerous. The most dangerous 7 seed in history.
all I know, the most dangerous 7 seed in history was me last year, who snuck into the playoffs as a 7 seed and then won the championship.
I also just reminded myself of when Javonte Williams and Bam Knight needed to get 10 points against Mr. Martucci on Monday night. It didn't, and I lost. And I went 0-2 because of that. And then also Rashee Rice catching a 1-yard pet pass to knock me out of the median.
So many things like that.
Just little things like that. I'm sure everyone has dealt with that over the season. It's just things that I remember from my team. It's just funny. But no, I like it. I think it's funny that all the guys in this, again, trying to get in the playoffs and their seasons rest on Noah's back to beat Hilch.
While Noah himself doesn't care at all what happens.
Noah, if you watch this all the way through, if you go 2-0, I will do half the challenge for you.
Why would you do that?
In order, but yeah, that was dumb. First of all, second, that should only, as the commissioner, I'm gonna say it only applies if he listens to this. Nobody else tell him. If he has to have heard this all the way through, that means he listened to the whole recap. So thanks, Noah. And that will, so he has to be the one to say it.
Yeah, no one. Yeah. No one can mention to him. Just he says.
And Noah, if you've made it this far, I just wanted to tell you, fuck you. That's all.
Can't hear you all the way down there.
I can't. Yeah, maybe he can't. No, he can't hear me. He's too far down.
I'm just rooting for one thing. My final thought is I'm rooting for one thing, and it's very possible. Chris, I'm rooting for you to get into the playoffs. I think it would be fun if you get in there.
It'd be the first time in history.
Also, that's crazy. Also, most of all, because there's a high probability that if you get in the playoffs as a 7 seed, that you end up playing either me or Martucci. because one of us probably like it or Jake, but like we're the top three right now. There's a pretty solid chance that we'd end up playing one of you to play one of us.
Next week would be.
So that's what I'm rooting for.
All right. Oh man. All right.
Well,
if only it was the weekend after. If only.
That'd be crazy if we were matched up on your wedding. That would be crazy.
Oh man.
Shit talking.
Oh yeah, during the semifinals, I'm sure there won't be an entire table of people with their phones out watching a Saturday night game.
Is there soccer?
There is a Saturday night game, Martucci. This dirt bag. 2 games. There are 2 games.
Why is it? Hold on, let me see. What are they?
And I have Terry McLaurin. The Commanders play.
Commanders and Packers.
Why don't you worry about that if you get there, brother?
I already know I'm gonna get there. It's destiny.
Oh, well, thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on doing a recap, guys. Good to talk to you guys and good to do
Good seeing you guys.
The first recap of 2025. So appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.